Hi there, and welcome to your Astro-Tarot video for the week of the 16th through the 22nd of October 2016. So in the astro world, we've had our full moon in Aries conjunct Uranus, but the fireworks aren't over. This week on Wednesday, we have Pluto and Mars conjuncting in the sign of Capricorn. So this is another explosive aspect. Pluto can be likened to the atomic bomb. It's great power and great energy of transformation, with Mars coming along as the trigger point. So you may have had it. You may want to move fast. Mars would like you to move fast, but to avoid blowing things up, try to have some control with your energy output. So instead of just lashing out, try to just calm down and do a slow release, kind of like air coming out of a balloon instead of popping the balloon, bam. So that's your caveat for this week. And also this week we have the sun entering Scorpio. So it's becoming that time when we're tuning down for fall. We're getting ready for the dark days of winter, and the veil between the worlds is getting thin. So at the end of this video, I'm going to read you the story of Stingy Jack in honor of Halloween, but I'm putting it at the end in case you just want the forecast. You can listen to the forecast and skip the story. But to get us into the mood of Sun in Scorpio, I'll be reading Stingy Jack. So for the tarot forecast, we start out with the Page of Swords. So this card is knocking on lots of doors, turning over lots of stones. You may be trying to find something like another job or someone to help you or someone to work for you, or anything like that, but you're gonna have to turn over lots of stones and knock on lots of doors. Where you're trying to get to, and this has been a recurring theme for the past several weeks, is this is the Page of Pentacles. You're looking for some stability and some groundedness and some support. So you're having to knock on lots of doors to try to get this support and evenness and a foothold in your daily life. What's at the root of everything, or what's at the bottom of the reading, is the Six of Cups. So this is about pleasurement and enjoyment and friends and good times and childhood. So you would just like to enjoy life a little bit. I know I would. I mean, I don't know. For the last 6 weeks, my life has not been enjoyable. Hardly at all. So, I mean, I can relate. So we're all looking for some pleasure and for some enjoyment and some relaxation. And at the top of it all, and what we all must encounter and what we must get through here, is the Judgment card. So I often call this the coming out card. So no, it doesn't necessarily mean you're coming out of the closet saying that you're gay, but you have to come out. You have to let a certain part of yourself out of the closet, because this certain part of yourself has been hearing the call and wants to answer the call of your higher self. So that's going to require, like I said, that you're going to have to come out of the closet about a certain part of yourself, and those around you are just going to have to deal with it, accept it, or not. The final card is the Sun, so this is a good way to end this reading. I'm happy to see it. So this means brightness and illumination. So some of the things that you may be looking for, you may find this week, or at least you'll find some tips on where to look, or where to take your next step at. And once again, the Sun talks about yourself, your true self, your creative self-expression, which we kind of touched on a little bit in the Judgment card, of that part of you needs to come out. So the Sun is affirming that You need to be the person that you were put on this planet to be, and let your light shine, and don't hide your light under a bushel. Finally, I did a geomancy reading based on the cards that we pulled, and sometime I'll go into what geomancy is. But what we pulled here was loss. So it's passionate energy, force, and seeking sudden change. So I think that goes back to the Pluto-Mars conjunction I was talking about, that there's a lot of built up pressure within us to make great change and to make great strides, but we got to keep a little bit of a lid on it. Otherwise, we will experience loss because it may come out the wrong way. Like I said, we don't want to explode the atomic bomb. We would rather have the air come out of the balloon slowly, or maybe even put one of those whistle things on it so it goes wee, but don't pop it. So have a great week. Hope everything turns out well for you, and I'll see you next week.
Don't forget the reading sale.
The Legend of Stingy Jack. Stingy Jack was a miserable old drunk who loved playing tricks on anyone and everyone. One dark Halloween night, Jack ran into the devil himself in a local public house. Jack tricked the devil by offering his soul in exchange for one last drink. The devil quickly turned himself into a sixpence to pay the bartender, but Jack immediately snatched the coin and deposited it into his pocket next to a silver cross that he was carrying. Thus, the devil could not change himself back, and Jack refused to allow the devil to go free until the devil had promised not to claim Jack's soul for 10 years. The devil agreed, and 10 years later, Jack again came across the devil while walking on a country road. The devil tried collecting what he was due, but Jack, thinking quickly, said, "I'll go, but before I do, will you get me an apple from that tree?" The devil, thinking he had nothing to lose, jumped up into the tree to retrieve an apple. As soon as he did, Jack placed crosses all around the trunk of the tree, thus trapping the devil once again. This time, Jack made the devil promise that he would not take his soul when he finally died. Seeing no way around the predicament, the devil grudgingly agreed. When Stingy Jack eventually passed away several years later, he went to the gates of heaven, but was refused entrance because of his life of drinking and because he had been so tight-fisted and deceitful. So Jack went down to hell to see the devil and find out whether it were possible to gain entrance into the depths of hell, but the devil kept the promise that had been made to Jack years earlier and would not let him enter. "But where can I go?" asked Jack. "Back to where you came from," replied the devil. The way back was windy and very dark. Stingy Jack pleaded with the devil to at least provide him with a light to help him find his way. The devil, as a final gesture, tossed Jack an ember straight from the fires of hell. Jack placed the ember in the hollowed-out turnip, one of Jack's favorite foods, which he always carried around with him whenever he could steal one. From that day forward, Stingy Jack has been doomed to roam the earth without a resting place, and with only his lit turnip to light the way in the darkness.